going on? Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Callie and I'm super glad you clicked on today's video. If you clicked on this, you probably don't know how to take care of your horse's mane and tail, or you simply just want to know how to get better at it and learn about the different textures. So, I have two volunteers who are going to help me today. Miss Misty and Mr. Rambo are going to be pulled out of the field just for the sake of this video. So, the reason I'm pulling out two horses is because Misty has very thick and curly textured hair, which can be a little bit different taken care of than Rambo, for example, who has pin straight, really thin hair. I have tried everything to grow that horse's mane and tail, but sometimes some horses just have that texture of hair, which can make it just hard to grow. Like him, for example, it's just the way that they were born. Probably has to do a little bit with genetics. Now, there are some things that you can do to help make it a little bit fuller and thicker, but a lot of times it's just a little bit more genetics, and you can't really fix that or change that about them. But Misty has some really good genetics as far as her mane, and not completely genes, because we have had a really hard time growing out her mane in the past and learning how to take care of it. So it was really scraggly and weird at the beginning, but we have figured out how to make it so full and so long, and I'm super excited to show you guys how we did that. So without any further ado, let's get right into the video. Alrighty guys, so we are out here with little Misty, and this is her mane. As you can see, it's very thick, and it's got a little bit of a curl to it. I don't think you could really tell on camera, but it does have some curl to it. I mean, it's not like super curly, but it's super thick and very coarse and kind of hard to take care of. So I'm going to show you guys. It collects debris super easy, so I'm going to show you all how we take care of this beautiful girl's mane and forelock and her tail. As you can see, her tail is pretty coarse, pretty thick as well, so that is also something we had to take extra care of as well, and it's super long. Now that you've seen Misty's, we can take a look at Rambo's. As you can see, there is a pretty big difference. Sorry, the sun is like glaring, but his is very thin and very short. And I have tried everything to make it grow, but he just rubs it out pretty easy. And I think it's just a little bit of genetics. And I know that because I tried a bunch of different methods, and we had a hard time getting this girl's mane to grow, and we finally figured it out. So I know that you can grow them and thicken them up a little bit, but I think this guy is just genetics. And his tail is also thin and short. So it's not just his mane, it's just, I think it's just his hair. But his coat is beautiful, but it's wintertime right now, so it's not beautiful now, but he does have a beautiful coat. So I know that it's not like a diet. I don't think it's his diet or anything, because he does have a beautiful coat. Alrighty, now let's go over the things that you're gonna need to actually take care of the horses, no matter the texture. The horse's mane, no matter the texture. So first thing, you're gonna need a hairbrush. Now, you can just use a regular hairbrush from like the dollar store or something. We used to use those until I got this one. I got this in my stocking. You can get these at Tractor Supply or Co-op, but you can just use a regular hairbrush if you want to. Personally, I prefer a horse brush. It seems a little bit more durable to me, just because they have such thick, coarse manes. Next thing that you're gonna need is a comb. I have two different types. I have this metal comb. I got this at Tractor Supply, and I also have this one, which came in a set with this brush. This one actually has a clip attached to it, so it's like a comb and a clip. Now, this one is just a metal comb. Now, as far as the comb part, I do love the clip on this one, but as far as the comb part, I do prefer this one, just because it's metal and it's hard, and it kind of gets through there and digs out those tangles a lot easier than the plastic. But they both work. They both work really good, and I 10 out of 10 recommend a comb, because you can kind of comb and get those knots out before you go with the brush, especially if the horses have tried to braid each other's manes, because they want to do that. They go like twist them up, groom each other and twist them up, and it gets really messy and hard to dig out, so I recommend combs for that. Next thing that I would like to recommend is some sort of detangler. Now, this is actually a heat protectant bottle, but this does not have heat protectant in it. This has water in it, and a little bit of conditioner. So you can make your own at home. Just put some mane and tail conditioner and like a little bit, and then some water, and you can get some detangler, because I think the horse detangler is really expensive in my opinion, so I don't really like to buy that often, but I will get a bottle every now and then if it's really bad and I really need it. But this seems to work pretty good, and you can just use water because it still makes it wet and a little bit more slippery, so you can just use water if you want. but this is just a little mixture that I made myself, and it works perfectly fine. And the final thing that you're gonna need is some little rubber bands. Some people like to use electrical tape. I prefer the rubber band, but you're gonna need these for cutting their manes in protective styles. Whether that's simply just twisting it or braiding it, I really recommend protective styles. Cutting their manes and tails in protective styles can make it a lot easier to detangle it or grow it out, because they're in protective styles. They're not rubbing them out, they're not pulling them on things, if they're not having as much breakage. So that can make it a lot easier to grow out, and it keeps them soft and keeps them from getting all tangly, so you don't have to just run your brush through it all the time, breaking their hair. Without any further ado, let's go ahead and work on their manes, and I'm going to show you the differences. Alrighty, so first thing I'm going to show you is how I take care of Rambo's hair. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with a little bit of detangler, and that's just going to loosen it up a little bit. Okay, now for Rambo, I don't have to use a comb just because his brushes out pretty easily. But I put some detangler on there. So when I'm doing this, I'm going to go up and down my brush, straight up and down. This helps get the tangles out a lot easier than going sideways. Alrighty, so I am starting at the bottom, and I'm kind of working my way up the mane a little bit. And I like to hold his mane sometimes. I'm pretty sure horses can't really feel their manes as much as we can our hair. So I don't think it bothers them too much, but I still feel bad. It makes me feel a little bit better, so. But his mane isn't too tangled today. It's just, and I try and keep my brush straight up and down. Sometimes I slant it a little bit, but I don't want to do directly like that. I want to kind of keep it as much up and down as I can. But now, it's all detangled. Well, now it's all detangled, and I kind of just run my brush right through it. Brush out his forelock, same way. Keep it up and down. But his forelock's usually not that tangled, so it really doesn't even need any detangler. Alrighty, let's focus on Misty Girl here now. So I'm going to start on her forelock. Now she does need some detangler on her forelock because this is like the thickest part of her hair. It's like layers of hair, and we like it though because it's pretty. So I'm gonna spray a little detangler. I'm gonna try and keep it out of her eyes if I can. I don't want to spray her in the face. Now sometimes, like today, there's not a whole lot of knots, and it will kind of completely detangle. But as you can see, I'm getting some of that debris out as well. Get out of her face. Because horses, like some horses like to lay down, some don't. But Misty does. She lays down all the time. It's debris free. It's nice, and I've kind of got as many knots out as I could. Now I'm just gonna go with the brush. Same thing with Rambo. Just brush it out, and as you can see, there's really no knots left for her. Alrighty, so now we're gonna focus on her mane. I'm gonna start with the same process. I'm gonna start with the detangler again, and I'm gonna get her hair out of the halter here. But I'm going to start with the detangler again. This just kind of creates a nice base. It kind of loosens up the hair a little bit. Makes it much easier to detangle. And then I get the underneath because her hair is so thick. I got to go underneath too, or it's not going to reach down there. So. Alrighty, so now I like to go in with the clip comb, and I like to section a piece of her hair off, and I like to twist it up like this, and I like to take the clip and I like to clip it up. Now you don't have to do that, but I think it's very convenient having that clip there. It makes it very easy to detangle it because it's in sections. So even if you don't have a clip comb, just get a regular claw clip. It helps a lot. So I'm just going to go in with the comb again, kind of get some knots, debris out. There's really not a whole lot of knots in her hair today, but there is a lot of debris, so I want to get that all up. I go in my brush and brush out any remaining knots, remaining debris. Get it nice and soft. Alright guys, so we have completely detangled her mane now. As you can see, here's my proof. My fingers will run right through, the brush runs right through. But now, to keep that from happening again, I'm going to put her mane into a protective style, and I'm going to show you guys how to do that. So I'm just going to take my comb with a clip and some rubber bands, and I'm going to use this to section it so that I get proportionate sections and it's not going to get in my way, which makes the process a lot quicker. And I'm going to use some of this as well, just to dampen it a little bit. And that'll kind of make it easier to braid. I usually do about a finger long section, so I just put my finger here. It should be about like this. So I like to leave this nice and loose and free, and I don't want it to pull. So, well guys, I really hope that you enjoyed today's video. If you did, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. I really hope that this helped you. Or maybe you can add this to your grooming routine and just better take care of your horses like this. And I really hope that this was helpful to you guys, and I can't wait to see you on my next video. If you want to get notifications on when I post my next video, don't forget to click that little notification bell. Can't wait to see you guys next time. Bye!